Alright, it should be good now.
Alright, yeah, okay, it looks like it's moving. Alright, sorry folks, some technical difficulties. I hope the stream didn't crash. Alright, sorry, my mic apparently went out. I don't know what caused that.
It just got like temporarily disconnected and it reset to the default.
Didn't even come up on the screen, but okay. Alright, so if you hear me, yeah, we're talking about Ashley. I think Ashley, unlikable. She is not very likable. She is a bitch. She is mean, she's nasty, she's unpleasant at times, and she's racist towards aliens. That is my big problem with Ashley. She does not like the alien squad mates because even though the alien squad mates are the coolest characters of the franchise. So her distrust of them is very unpleasant. I don't like Ashley because she's mean, and in Mass Effect 1, her romance is fine. It's cute, it's adorable, she lets down her walls, but I do think Jack and Miranda are definitely the better mean girl crushes because they actually become nicer the more you love them and show friendliness to them. Whereas Ashley kind of raises her walls up more. She breaks up with you in Mass Effect 2 because you're working with Cerberus and she doesn't listen and pretty much severs all ties with Shepard. Then come Mass Effect 3, where she completely is stonewalling Shepard, and you have to melt down her Ice Queen demeanor and win her heart back. And do not like Ashley. I know my friend Bodhi is gonna be upset, but Ashley is very unlikable. I just can't stand her. She's mean, she's rude, she's unpleasant. Her idea of a perfect date is starting a bar fight, and yeah, they're trying to make her the cool military girl, but honestly, Jack and Miranda are way better versions of this character, and never liked Ashley as a person, and her romance did not change my mind on her. Sounds like a tool. Yes, she is. Sorry, my mic disconnected for a moment. I don't know what the hell happened, but whatever. What's done is done. So I'm glad you guys can hear me again, and we got at least 3 romances out of the way, so didn't miss too much. These were great games all in all. Well, except for Blandromeda, and I think I'm gonna start knocking some of the Andromeda cast out because if you didn't hear me earlier, I am not a fan of Mass Effect Andromeda. I think it's boring, I think it's dull, I think it's slow, I think it's overrated, and I think half the voice acting is awful. They can't act, they sound wooden. Half the cast tries, but then there's half that don't. My face is tired. Nobody's a Pathfinder until they path found. Yeah, pretty bad. So I'm glad you guys can hear me now. Sorry, the mic acted up. Didn't miss too much. Liara is by the goddess. Kaidan, mid-calibrations, he's okay. And Ashley is our first bad. Sorry, my friend Bodhi, but I do not like Ashley. Ashley is lame. So speaking of lame, let's start knocking the Andromeda cast out, because apparently this person had the same idea since most of the Andromeda cast are up top. Alright, let's do Cora. Cora's going right on to mid. Yeah, Cora's okay, if you can tell by her having the Karen haircut. Definitely not a top tier love interest. Cora's another generic military girl. She's a little bit cold towards Ryder at first because she wanted to be the Pathfinder, but becomes Ryder's second in command, and you can pursue a romance with her where she slowly warms up. And Cora, just boring. She is boring. She's not interesting. She's one of the few who has a nude scene, so that definitely won her some points, but as a character, she's a very weaker version of Jack and Miranda. Cora is the only biotic on your squad, and she has her sob story about how she was treated different. She couldn't get along with all the other reindeer because she was a biotic, and oh man, it falls severely flat if you remember Jack and Kaidan's backstories, where they suffered a lot more hardships because of their biotics. Cora, I just don't really find her all that interesting. The problem with Mass Effect Andromeda is most of the characters are completely undercooked. They're not super deep, they're not super compelling. Their romances feel very basic, very generic, compared to all the Mass Effect Trilogy squad mates, which had some of the most beautiful moments of gaming, and there's still debates over who is the better romance of Mass Effect, who's number one. Here, nobody cares about the Andromeda cast, and Cora is definitely one of them. She's basically an ice queen who slowly defrosts her walls and learns to love Ryder. They have sex, they become kick-ass battle couple, but Cora is severely underdeveloped, and I do think they were going to explore her in DLC or later games, but unfortunately that never happened because Blandromeda was bland, so I'm putting her at mid. Kind of feels a little like Game of Thrones, but in space. Well, also, there's not enough sex and nudity, but yeah. Alright, next, Liam. Liam's our first Boschtet. Liam sucks. He's the class clown who isn't funny. He's a tool. Liam has one of the most hated romances in the game because basically he's a goofball trying to be cool and impress female Ryder, but he's a goofball and fails at life, but Ryder kind of cheers him up and is his rock, and he sucks, man. Liam sucks as a character, so of course he sucks as a romance option. I have never heard anyone in my 9 lives say they liked Liam's romance. Hey, cool show, you made it. Don't worry, didn't do too much. We're taking out all the boring duds first. Yeah, Liam, bad. No one likes his romance. No one likes Liam. He was completely outclassed by even better on Andromeda. Alright, next we'll do Gil, the gay romance. I'm putting him on mid. His romance is another alright one. Basically, he's the gay bear. He's the tough gay guy. Ryder slowly bonds with him. Gil actually tells his backstory, which made him more interesting compared to others. And basically, it's just romancing Scotty. And if you like Scotty, then there's your dream guy. Me, I'm not gay, so I don't have much attachment to him, and I thought their romance was alright. They wanted to have more LGBT options in Blandromeda, and his was one of the better ones, but still nothing to go home writing about. Speaking of which, let's get Suvi on there. Suvi, I'll put on She Has Reach. Yes, we got our first She Has Reach. Suvi is definitely cute. It's a cute romance. Suvi is a religious person who's a scientist, slowly bonds with female Ryder. She is a lesbian option, so sorry boys, can't romance the sexy Scott. I think she's alright. Her romance goes up to high cuteness, but that's about it. Nothing sexy, nothing S tier. Her romance is more so adorable, sweet, innocent nerd girl, finds her hot lesbian waifu, and basically they both kick ass together. I think she has reach and is almost good, but stops herself at cute, so I'll put her there. Happy Valentine's Day. Liam is on par with that gay guy from Lara Croft Tomb Raider Netflix. Yeah, definitely. I'm so sick of the femboy black people. They ruined the coolness of tough black guys, and Liam's definitely one of them. Yeah, Suvi, she has reach. She could have been S tier, but stops herself at cute. Alright, Reyes. Let's put Reyes, I'm putting him up the top of mid. Reyes definitely has a lot going for him. Namely, he's one of the few voice actors that can actually act. This is the bad boy romance option. Reyes is basically Han Solo. He's a smuggler, he's a con man, he's going on adventures, and basically your romance is you redeem him and win his heart over. Reyes does get a romance with both male and female Ryder. You can romance him, he is bisexual. Reyes is definitely one of the better characters of Andromeda because he's actually interesting. And he undergoes a redemption arc through his romance. Basically, Ryder can win him over, convince him to do more good. He has this fun adventure, kind of an old-fashioned kind of Star Wars kind of heist. And he's definitely fun, but unfortunately he doesn't get as much screen time compared to the terrible squad mates. So we'll put him on mid, but he'll definitely be high mid, that's for sure. Hey Akira, glad you made it. We're on the Blandromeda characters. We are saving Mass Effect 2 because those have the best romances, so we're getting all the duds out of the way. Alright, so let's talk about the reporter T Visa. Yes, really, that's her name, T Visa. I'm gonna put her on She Has Reach. Yeah, she's actually one of the few romances I actually liked, because the rest of the Andromeda cast are super boring. Yeah, she's basically a reporter who slowly but surely falls for Ryder of either gender, the Asari are bisexual, male or female romances, and while she's no Liara, she definitely has a cute romance because you actually go on a date with her. Yeah, you can actually go on a real date to a fancy restaurant with her, and she opens up, reveals she's not this hard-nosed bitch, and has a softer side. I think it's cute, but that's as far as we're going with her. T Visa's romance is cute. Basically a cute, critic turned fangirl kind of romance, and I just kind of like that because she can actually act. So she won points definitely over Liam and Korra, that's for sure, but stops herself short from perfection. Alright, this one I know is gonna piss off a lot of people, but Jaal. Jaal is going on to Bastet. Oh man, I do not like the Angara. I'm just gonna say it. The Angara species are not sexually attractive in any way. The Angara are these weird, stiff, hunchback-looking frog people, and apparently they were supposed to be the male equivalent to the Asari. But women, if there are any females in the audience, look me in the eye and say you would screw a guy who looks like this. Jaal is not an attractive romance partner, that's for sure. And unfortunately, they give him so much screen time. And what puts him on the Bastet is, 1, he is boring. He is not interesting. 2, he's not attractive. And 3, his sex scene is the stuff of nightmares. Yes, they gave this frogman a nude scene. No joke, he has a nude scene. One of the first extraterrestrials to have a nude scene, and it is the stuff of nightmares, man. It is hideous. It looks god-awful. Jaal has like this gross, misshapen, saggy Resident Evil zombie body, and yes, they do show you his butt and his wang, and it is awful, man. It is gross. I can not buy that anyone finds this guy sexually attractive. They tried to make him the Garrus of the series, but he is the Bloody Mary of the series. That's gross. Yes, they did. You can tell the same people who worked on the Mass Effect trilogy, most of them did not come back for Andromeda. I say most, there definitely were some there, but yeah, they thought it was a good idea to give this thing a sex scene, and man, it is scary. It is scary as hell. If you have the guts for it, look on the internet and tell me you won't freak out looking at how gross and misshapen and saggy his frogman body is. About on par with Nosferatu 2024 all over again. Yep. So, Kat, why in the Mummy Return of the Mummy review, why didn't you mention the protagonist was played by Carlos from the Magic School Bus? But why Total Drama? 1, I like Total Drama, and 2, I thought it was more important calling him Tucker because he was on Are You Afraid of the Dark. I didn't know he was Carlos until after that review was made. Rule 34 says otherwise, Cat. Yeah. Okay, Jaal, not an attractive guy. I'm just gonna say it. Like, ladies, would you screw this frog-looking guy with the saggy body and horns coming out of his torso? And he's not attractive. They tried to one-up Garrus, but no, just no. Speaking of which, the Angaran science girl, we're gonna put on bad. Her romance is also the female equivalent to the Angaran romance. She's a female member of Jaal's species, and I guess she was thrown in last minute so you can have a romance with a female Angaran, and you can tell it was last minute because barely any thought or effort went into her romance. There's some people who don't even know who this girl is, but she's basically a hostage you rescue and can have a romance with in the game, and it's boring. Her romance is boring, and they did not put as much thought and effort into her story as they did Jaal's. And yeah, once more, the Angaran nudity is not attractive in the slightest. Do not recommend. In fairness, frogs are hard to make attractive. Well, they did Rikuo well. Well, there is that Frogman movie. Never heard of it. I only know Frogman from She-Hulk. Okay, we got two more Andromeda romances. Okay, thankfully, we saved the best for last of Andromeda. One, we'll talk about PB, the hyperactive super archaeologist extraordinaire. PB is Liara with Mabel Pines' persona, and PB, I'm gonna put her romance on She Has Reach. Yeah, she's definitely good, but I do not agree that she is S tier. PB is another Asari scientist slash adventurer, just like Liara. However, she's the complete polar opposite of Liara. She's more hyper, she's outgoing, she's outspoken, very fiery, very energetic, and a total social butterfly. PB has implied ADHD slash autism. Some people think it's autism because of how hyper she is. I'd buy it, but they don't say specifics. But yeah, she's basically hyper in your face. She's the party girl. They tried to make her the Wasp of Mass Effect, but I get more of the Mabel Pines of Mass Effect. I do think she's alright. The problem with PB is sometimes she can get annoying at times, and she's a bit reluctant to pursue a romance with Ryder at first. Like, at the start, she does approach casual sex, but if you pursue her, she slowly forms an attachment to Ryder and does want to settle down with Ryder, does want a romance with him or her, and she's definitely the fun girlfriend. However, PB also comes packed with some baggage, namely her abusive psycho ex-girlfriend who is still stalking and after her. Her loyalty mission is basically trying to swipe a treasure that the abusive bitch ex-girlfriend is also stealing, and you slowly learn more about PB and you can make or break your relationship with her on this loyalty quest. She's adorkable. Yeah, she is. Pilisaria B-Cell, nicknamed PB. Yeah, because she does not like her Asari name. There is a Tia from Ben 10. Yeah, she was better looking. Expect Tsuyo from My Hero Academia, the alien, not the Magic School Bus character. Yeah. She's adorkable. Yeah, she definitely is. She's another cute nerd girl, but a lot more hyper and a lot more social than Liara. Liara is the shy nerd girl. PB is the excitable nerd girl. She loves adventure. She loves being badass. She loves a good fight. She's basically just Wasp as an Asari, and yeah, I can definitely see the appeal of her. She's definitely fun. PB can actually be a cool squad mate because she expresses emotions, whereas most of the cast of Blandromeda are bland, so she was definitely a beacon of hope in the game. I can definitely respect people who like her romance, but she does not reach the same league as Liara for me. Liara is perfect, and I think Garrus and Tali are definitely better than her because they express more character. PB, basically, you try to get her to agree to a relationship, try to get her to open up, try to get her to attach herself to Ryder and having a normal life, basically bring her back down to earth. She's still herself, she's still cool and hyper, but definitely wants some deeper relationship, and yeah, definitely cute. I will say her romance is very adorable, very funny, very heartwarming at times, so PB is definitely one of the better Andromeda romances. But, believe it or not, we actually do have an S-tier Andromeda romance. Alright, so let's talk about the last Andromeda character, Vetra. Vetra going on by the goddess. Yes, this is easily the best romance of Andromeda. Vetra is a female Garrus. She's the tough girl, the military girl, the cowgirl who gets things done, does some underhanded schemes, but all for a greater cause. Vetra is cool. She's the cool girl. She's wicked, she's smart, she's sassy, she's basically girl Garrus. Everybody liked Vetra the most because she had the most backstory going on and the most personality. She was played by Christine Locken, who played Annie in Frankenstein Theory, also the director of the High School Musical, the series, never heard of it, and Jane from The Walking Dead: A New Frontier. I think from Walking Dead 2, but whatever. Yeah, Vetra, I really like her. I agree. Vetra is really cool. She's basically the tough girl, but she has an insecure side and is very shy around Ryder. If Ryder flirts with her, then basically we see Vetra's a little shy, afraid of pursuing the relationship at first, but you slowly gain her trust. You help save her sister? I think it's her sister, Sid. It's very hard to tell. The sister's name's Sid, and the voice did not make it clear if it was a boy or a girl, but yeah. You help save Vetra's sister, prove that you care for Vetra, have her on your mind, care about her needs too, because Vetra spends most of the game being kind of a merc who cares about everyone else. Again, female Garrus. She cares about everyone, cares about doing good, doing justice, she loves herself some guns, and her romance with Ryder definitely adorable. It is sweet, it is cool, and Vetra shows a softer side beneath her tough front, and I really like it. Kind of like Applejack from My Little Pony. Oh, is she? I would say she's more like Rainbow Dash, but yeah, with her ego in check. Vetra really like her sexy voice. You finally get to date a female Turian. In the original trilogy, Garrus was the only Turian you could date, and unfortunately he was only into women, so we can finally see Vetra, who is bisexual. You can romance her as female or male Ryder. I obviously do male Ryder because I like playing as the male character. I am a male, so don't get that mixed up. But yeah, Vetra is definitely a fun character. She is definitely one of the best love interests of the game. Again, she's just female Garrus, but definitely a good copy of Garrus. We'll put her on by the goddess, but she'll definitely be outclassed by some of our later characters. Alright, just need some water. Alright, so now we're finally at a lot of good characters and some bad. Alright, let's do Mass Effect 2 finally. So, getting the bad out of the way, let's do Jacob Taylor. Jacob, going on to Bastet. Yeah, of course he is. Jacob Taylor's romance is one of the worst romances of the franchise. Jacob is basically this tough, no-nonsense, badass mercenary. He has a softer side, slowly befriends Shepard. He is only romanceable for female Shep. However, their romance is the most cringy. It's so cheesy. He's trying to impress her, showing he's a cool guy, but Shepard the prize. The guy acting as Jacob is not good at being the smooth, cool black guy. Oh, and the biggest reason why people hate Jacob's romance, he cheats on you. Yep, he cheats on female Shepard, and of course, the first and only romance that cheats on you is the black guy, so that went over well with a lot of people. And basically, he dumps Shepard in Mass Effect 3 for this new girl who he had a relationship with off-screen, and basically starts a family with her. Basically leaves behind Shepard completely. You have the option to bitch slap him if you want, so I encourage that, but yeah. Bastet, awful romance, awful character. Jacob is definitely one of the worst choices for female gamers if you pursue this romance. I do like his backstory, but his romance is definitely F tier. This guy is probably going to be the bottom of the barrel love interest. Total Bastet. But you know who's not? Miranda Lawson. Miranda, the elusive man's Baroness, the sexy femme fatale spy girl of Cerberus, the Cerberus cheerleader as the others make fun of. Miranda, going up on by the goddess. Yeah, she is better than Vetra. Miranda, awesome. One of the best romances ever. Basically, you're kind of romancing a Bond girl. She's like the sexy Baroness / Catwoman working for the elusive man. She was hired on Shepard's team to basically keep an eye on Shepard and report directly to the elusive man. However, if you romance her, you find out she's not a huge bitch. She is an ice queen at the start of the game, but slowly defrosts, melts her walls away, lets Shepard in, shows that she's actually a nice girl. She has some insecurities, she has a lot of daddy issues, and basically Miranda has a very wholesome romance with Shepard. They have a lot in common, and yeah, I really like her. Very hot. My personal waifu. You have good taste, Christopher. Miranda Lawson, of course she's S tier. She is one of the best romances ever. I didn't like her at first because, again, she's very mean and very confrontational, but she slowly melts her walls away and shows a softer side. I think her romance is at its best in Mass Effect 3. By then, Miranda has actually turned good. She's become kind of a rogue agent. She's on the lam, running from Cerberus, but slowly keeping contact with Shepard. They both have a very cute romance if you still pursue her. I really like it because Miranda shows a nice side and actually apologizes for her bitch behavior in the second game. And yeah, it's definitely a hot couple. It is like a James Bond kind of romance. She's the sexy, evil femme fatale, while Shepard's the cool, kick-ass, badass hero. It is very, very sexy, very hot romance. Really like it, really like their smooth operating, like their good lines, like their chemistry together. The Citadel DLC gave them a lot more cutesy moments, like Miranda's trying to be cool at the casino, but it doesn't know how to fit in or be normal. But Shepard wins her over, and Shepard actually takes lead, wins her over with his badass masculinity. So yeah, good message. I like her. Ice Queen with the heart of gold. And unfortunately, she can die if you break up with her, so more reason to stick with her in Mass Effect 3. Yeah, Miranda is actually the only one who could die if you break up with her. That's kind of dark, but very funny. Really like her, and she does prove herself by the end of Mass Effect 3. She takes down her father's evil criminal organization, kills Dr. Lawson for good, saves her sister, and is now completely open to form a romance with Shepard by the end. So yeah, you can have a happy ending, which is supposed to be foreshadowing about the dark ending of Mass Effect 3. But yeah, I love her. Yvonne Stravinsky has a very alluring voice, and they did make her look like Yvonne, just with the dark hair. I really like her, because this is basically just the Baroness, but in Mass Effect. Miranda Lawson is definitely a goddess tier romance, and I agree she belongs up here with the top dogs. Alright, so let's talk about that one you all want to talk about, Tali'Zorah. Sorry, I need some water. Yep, Tali, going into by the goddess. Of course she is. It's Tali'Zorah. Don't worry, Tali fans, you can rest easy because I do agree her romance is great. Tali'Zorah, exactly like Liara, she's the shy, socially awkward girl. She has a huge crush on male Shepard, especially after Mass Effect 1. I was kind of surprised to figure out that you can't romance her in Mass Effect 1. Her romance starts in Mass Effect 2, where she reveals that she does actually crush on male Shepard for all the heroics he's pulled, especially saving her life. Tali'Zorah, love her. She is another waifu tier girlfriend for many. Yep, another waifu of mine. Yeah, this game series can get very dark, I agree. So, Tali, basically a space Muslim. She wears this super suit for her people's culture. The suit basically keeps her alive. Her species cannot make contact on the outside world because they were kicked off their planet before they could fully evolve, so they wear these special enviro suits. This isn't Tali's real face. She does actually have a sexy celestial alien form underneath there, but you never see it. She wants to show her love for Shepard, but is afraid that Shepard can't appreciate her because of her physiology. He can't see behind this damn mask, can't see that she's actually a hot model underneath there, and she can't touch him. A kiss could send her into a coma, and yeah, she could catch a fever just from having sex with other people outside her species. Way more hotter than Mia Khalifa. Oh, definitely. That's not even a high bar, man. So, of course, Tali has a very adorable relationship with Shepard. Basically wants Shepard to see her for who she is, see her beyond this space Muslim garb she's constantly wearing, and honestly, Tali is pretty hot even with it on. I mean, she has like this sexy Catwoman body, this tight latex suit. You can see her boobs practically. She's pretty much a hot girl underneath a space Muslim suit. She has a very sensual accent, kind of like a Middle East accent. And she has those dashing, glowing eyes you can see beneath her mask. The only part of Tali you can see is her eyes. They're basically these like glowing purple orbs underneath there. You have to pay attention on close-up shots when she's talking, but yeah. Oh hey, Shadow Link, you made it. Oh nice, the Mass Effect waifu tier list. Also glad to see Liara, Tali, and Miranda high tier, as they should be. Yeah, we're halfway through with the romances, and we're talking about Tali Zora right now, who I agree is by the goddess. Also, fun fact, Starfire and Teen Titans 2003, Hynden Walsh was on Goosebumps Deep Trouble. Okay, good for her. Mass Effect 3 is definitely doubled down on Tali's romance, because she plays a much more pivotal part in the plot. You're taking back the Quarian homeworld from the Geth, and of course Tali's all over Shepard if you have a romance, because now Shepard is literally the perfect boyfriend fighting to get her planet back. The Quarians lost their planet to an evil robot species known as the Geth. We find out there's more to this planet exile than we initially thought. The Geth actually have good people among them and actually want peace with the Quarians, where you can either make peace between the two species or kill one of the species. Let the Quarians die or let the Geth die. Very hard decisions, but if you play your cards right, you'll gain that happy ending. And Tali, definitely one of the best romances, especially in the Citadel DLC. We see more of drunk Tali. Everyone loved that. Emergency induction port. That's a straw, Tali. This list is enough to get me to want to play the games. The Mass Effect trilogy is easily the best. Andromeda you can skip. We knocked out all the boring-ass Andromeda characters. Vetra and PB are definitely high tier, but yeah, most of them are pretty terrible. I'd recommend skipping Andromeda completely, but Mass Effect 1 through 3, good game trilogy, minus the ending, but yeah, I'll settle for a 9 out of 10. Yeah. Anyways, Tali, perfect 10 out of 10, actually. Tali is great. She's hyper, she's friendly, she's excitable, she's very snippy at times, but in a cute, snippy way. She's kind of like Ahsoka, I would argue. A badass warrior with a sharp tongue, but a heart of gold deep down. Tali does care, and her romance with Shepard, easily adorable. It is precious, it is fun. Tali is definitely perfect girlfriend material, so I'm putting her on by the goddess for sure. Never played Andromeda, so I apparently dodged a bullet. Yes, you did. It was boring. About on par with Drunk Adora from Shira. Oh, you watch Shira, man? Ugh. Speaking of Mass Effect 3, despite its ending, I'll still die on the hill that it's still a great game. Yeah, I agree. Mass Effect 3 is a great game up until the ending. That is the one part. The ending, a botch mess. They planned this big, philosophical, kind of deep ending, but it did not work. The ending is bad, but I still play Mass Effect 3 because everything else in that game was very perfect and satisfying. Wish the ending was patched by the Legendary Edition, but nope, it wasn't. Anyways, Tali by the goddess. So, you know who else is a top character? Garrus Vakarian. Garrus, perfect female romance character. Garrus going on by the goddess, and yes, I know I'm putting him above Miranda because Garrus is awesome. Garrus is a bro. There's no Shepard without Vakarian. Garrus is the best friend you always wanted. Garrus has your back. He's cool. He's fun-loving. Got a sharp tongue. Is actually brave. He likes fighting. He's the Archangel. He fought like a whole gang of mercs. And pretty much perfect boyfriend material for female Shepard players. Yeah, this is the #1 romance among the female Shepard fans, because Garrus is awesome. Garrus kicks ass. He's very cool, very mysterious, kind of a space Punisher, I would say. He hates injustice and he'll fight for what's right. He became a mercenary. He used to work for CSEC, that's the Citadel Security. He was a cop initially, but got disgusted by how nothing was getting done and injustice, where he quits his job and joins Shepard's mission to save the galaxy. And he proves himself to be a really wicked guy. Or sexy cat tier list. Maybe someday. When we have a Magic School Bus characters tier list, I need to rewatch the series. I haven't watched that since I was in diapers, man. Only watched the clips of it on YouTube, not the series. Garrus, can it wait for a bit? I'm busy doing some calibrations. Yeah, everyone's favorite quote. If you're a male Shepard, he doesn't talk to you as much in Mass Effect 2. If you're a female Shepard, oh, he's got some conversations for you. His romance hogged as much screen time as Liara's. If you're a female gamer, Garrus gets a lot more dialogue with you than he does with male Shepard. Mass Effect 3 did kind of fix that because he's a lot more social by then, but if you're pursuing a romance with him as male Shepard, don't bother, it doesn't happen. So I agree, Garrus is definitely right there next to Tali. He is the perfect romance for the female gamer crowd because he's got a very smooth, alluring voice. He is the mysterious bad boy with a heart of gold, and he deeply cares about Shepard, either platonically as a friend or as a perfect boyfriend. Garrus is actually insecure about his romance with Shepard at first because he's very shy, he doesn't know how to socialize, and he believes Shepard deserves better than him. Very insecure, very sad, but Shepard can work her way into his heart, basically. Shepard can win Garrus over, show Garrus that he deserves love too, and Shepard and Garrus are definitely cute together. They actually have a very funny role-playing and dancing together on the Mass Effect 3 Citadel arc, and yeah, Garrus's romance definitely had a lot more funny moments in Mass Effect 3, but that's what made him very adorable. What do you think of Garrus and Vetra shipping? Probably not gonna happen because Vetra's on the other side of the Andromeda galaxy, but I could see it working. If you don't pursue Garrus or Tali, they actually hook up. Yeah, Garrus and Tali can hook up at the end of Mass Effect 3. If you didn't have a romance with either of them, Garrus and Tali basically realize that they like each other. They go from kind of bickering like an old married couple into hooking up by the end. But if you like Garrus as a romance option, you can still win him over because Shepard is hot either as male or female, and Garrus has definitely had a cute romance with Shepard, not gonna lie. Garrus is a cool bro for male Shepard, but an awesome boyfriend for female Shepard fans, so he's the first male going on by the goddess. And, alright, still on Mass Effect 2, okay. Let's do Morinth. Morinth going on to Bastet. Why? For one reason, because Morinth can kill you. Morinth is a joke character, basically. So, during Samara's loyalty mission, you actually have the option to betray Samara, that's her down here. Samara's trying to hunt down and kill Morinth because Morinth is a wanted serial killer. Morinth can convince you to let her join your squad, but you have to kill Samara, so Morinth can identity theft her. If you do this, Morinth will suggest a romance between Shepard, but she kills you. That is it. She pretty much kills you. She stole her mom's identity to pretend she was her, and if you have sex with her, she kills you because she's an Ardat Yakshi. That's an Asari succubus, for those of you who don't know. Basically, if you hook up with her, it's a game over. It is a total joke ending, and of course, she's easily one of the worst romances because she can murder your player character just by having sex. Morinth was wasted potential. Nothing much changes with her if she joins you. Yeah, I agree. Just stick with Samara. Yeah, she's better, because Morinth doesn't have any character because she's impersonating Samara. So you get Samara's dialogue on missions and such. So Morinth, Bastet, very bad romance. But you know who's a good romance? Thane. Thane Krios, the hitman with a heart of gold. And Thane, I will put on by the goddess. Yes, don't worry, female gamers, I do agree, Thane is definitely the second best female romance option. Thane is a kick-ass bounty hunter, however he's dying of a terminal illness. It's slowly, destroying his insides. Thane has a dead wife, and he does have a son who wants to be a bounty hunter. Your loyalty mission is help him prevent his son from making the wrong choices he did. And Thane is pretty much a DILF. He's a dad you'd like to fuck, basically, and yeah, I agree. I think his romance is definitely cute. Thane is pretty much dying and giving up on life. However, a romance with female Shepard would actually give him something to live for. And it's a very beautiful, tragic romance, I would say. Female Shepard can romance him and basically be his new anchor in life. You become his Sia, his sea princess, basically. Basically letting go of his dead wife and moving on to a romance with female Shepard. And Yeah, I think it's pretty adorable. It's pretty cute. And love that Thane has some layers to him in the romance. Thane is one of the best characters in the franchise. One of the best parts is murdering Kai Lang for dissing Thane. So she's just multi-SML treatment. Sure. Thane is a pretty tragic character, and I absolutely love his arc and loyalty mission on helping his son out. Yeah, the cat's in the cradle is the achievement for that. Yeah, I love Thane's loyalty mission the most. Thane got a lot more layers as a character, and wouldn't you know, it would actually be a pretty good romance. Now, spoilers, Thane dies in Mass Effect 3. He tries to stop an assassination attempt on the Citadel, where he fights the infamous Kai Lang. And Kai Lang wins by pretty much cheating. He stabs Thane through the chest with his sword and pusses out and runs away. But Thane got the last laugh because basically he struggled to fight a terminally ill Drell dying of Kepler syndrome and still couldn't kill his target. Thane at least saved the assassination target, and he basically dies halfway through the game, giving Shepard like a prayer and making peace with your character, either as male Shep or female Shep. However, if you romanced him as Fem Shep, then it adds a very deep layer to the romance because Shepard basically loses someone she loves during this war, and I actually like that. Thane's death has a huge impact on Mass Effect 3. After he dies, Thane kind of haunts Shepard, more so if you romance Thane. And one thing that pretty much sealed it on By the Goddess is during Shepard's darkest hour at the end of the Citadel, she imagines Thane as a Force ghost, influencing her, telling her to do what she always does and kick ass, giving her hope again. She's imagining what Thane would say if he was here right now, and I really loved that moment. That moment where Shepard's imagining what Thane would say to her if he was here right now, and inspires hope in her to keep fighting the fight and kick ass and save the galaxy. And that is definitely a cute moment. I would absolutely love that. That is a beautiful, tragic, romantic scene. And the best part is, it makes killing Kai Lang all the more satisfying. That was for Thane, you son of a bitch. Impaling him through a sword just like how he did to Thane. Thane, definitely By the Goddess. It was a sad romance, but definitely a perfect sad romance. Need some water because now we're talking about one of my favorite girls, Jack. Oh yeah, Jack, the psychotic biotic, going on to By the Goddess. And yes, controversial opinion, but I'm putting her in front of Tali and Garrus. I love Jack's romance. This is my second favorite romance option, behind Liara, of course. But Jack's romance is very deep, very profound, and surprisingly emotional. Jack is basically a prison convict you team up and recruit on your mission to stop the Collectors. Jack is a total psycho for hire, and she's basically a mean, nasty prison bitch. However, talking to her and romancing her reveals she hides some deep layers and a tragic side. Jack is actually very sad and very tragic as a character. She was basically a test subject taken by Cerberus and was abused physically, mentally, emotionally, and psychologically. She was basically used as a test subject to become the ultimate weapon. She has superpowers installed to her and basically a grown-up version of Eleven from Stranger Things. She's a badass super weapon. However, she turned against her captors and went on the loose, where she became one of the most infamous criminals in the galaxy. Another waifu material. Didn't think much of Jack at first until you get to know her and in her loyalty mission. Plus, it was great that she became a teacher to young biotics in 3. Yeah, basically, Jack's romance is also part redemption arc. As you play through and interact with Jack, you find out there is a tragic side to her. She does have a soft side hidden underneath her tough prison bitch demeanor. Jack actually wants happiness, she wants peace of mind, and you help her get closure on her dark, abusive, troubled past. Her loyalty mission is basically you blow up the science facility, which tortured her, and we find out that Jack actually has to learn empathy and care for others and actually confront her dark past. She has to let it go, basically. And Jack actually matures as a person. So in 2, she's kind of cold towards Shepard. She doesn't want him in. She kind of treats you like shit. However, talking and befriending her actually gets her to open up more. Jack is a total ice queen, just like Miranda. Jack and Miranda are kind of the exact same. They have a lot of defense mechanisms, icy walls. They're total ice queens that don't want anything to do with you until we find out behind their lairs that there's actually a sad person, a woman who wants to be held under there. Phone needed to charge. Great stream. Alright, see ya, Jon Snow, if you're not here. And basically, Jack kind of opens up to Shepard, and I really like this romance. My favorite is, like, basically her sex scene in Mass Effect 2. Jack breaks down crying and actually comes to Shepard for emotional support and a hug. And seeing her, of all characters, needing Shepard to let her in and give her a hug, it really says a lot about her character and made me fall in love with her because Jack is finally happy she found someone who gets her, basically. And their relationship greatly improves in Mass Effect 3. Like, Jack, this is what puts her on S tier for me. Total 180 in Mass Effect 3. Now she's a total supportive girlfriend who's completely all over Shepard, like constantly flirting with Shepard, making jokes about how much sex they'll have, and lots of kissing. You actually have Paragon interrupts to kiss her, and yeah, really hot romance. Jack actually outclasses Miranda for me because Mass Effect 3 greatly improved her. Jack basically found her happy place. She became a teacher, helping other biotic kids just like her, raising them right, and basically achieving happiness which she never had when she was their age, and being trained as a biotic warrior too. Jack learns to care for kids. She became a teacher, is a part of the Alliance, and if you want to romance her again, she is completely on board with that. Total supportive girlfriend. She likes having fun with Shepard. She kicks ass. Despite her rough demeanor, she's also kind of a tomboy, cracking jokes at Shepard. She never says she loves Shepard, but very strongly implies that. She's totally all over Shepard and wants romance with him. Wants to have sex a lot too. Sex in the combat simulator, sex on the dinner table, all that fun stuff. But yeah, I think her romance is pretty beautiful. It's basically the I can fix her kind of romance, and actually succeeds because Jack does want to be fixed, and she does eventually open up to Shepard when he shows care for her. So Jack, basically a very beautiful story of somebody who didn't want to be romance into a total supportive girlfriend all over your character. Definitely by the goddess tier, and yeah, I know, I do like her more than Tali, mostly because Jack's character development and her romantic scenes are very saucy. So Jack is goddess tier romance for me. Alright, we got a lot of iffy characters left. Oh, sorry. Sorry, just checking my live chat. I hope you're still here, Jon Snow. We're almost done with the list. We're on the meh characters to pretty good. Alright, let's do last Mass Effect 2 character. We got Samara and Kelly. Alright, we'll do Kelly Chambers, who I'll put on She Has a Reach. Yeah, Kelly, basically the hot secretary Shepard gets for Mass Effect 2. She is a potential romance option. Basically, very flirty. It's a worker romance. She can talk to you the more you get progress through the Mass Effect 2 playthrough campaign. And she can be romance. Basically, you can have sex with your secretary. However, no sex scene because she gets abducted by the Collectors. Her pretty much high point is that she can actually perform like an Asari stripper dance in your room for you. Yes, that actually does happen. Kelly is also romanceable for both is she romanceable for FemShep? I thought she was romanceable for both genders, but yeah, I think Kelly, pretty adorable, has this very cutesy worker romance where she reveals she has a very naughty side. Yeah, definitely she has a reach. I will put her up there. Unfortunately, she doesn't make it higher because she does get the shaft in Mass Effect 3, where she only gets like a 1-minute cameo, and that's about it. But yeah, she had reach. It's a shame that college never shows Magic School Bus for any science class. Well, yeah, because you're a college kid by then, not a grade schooler. Alright, so let's talk about Samara. Samara, does she even count? This might not even be a real romance. Samara you can flirt with, but she's the only romance option who turns you down. She rejects Shepard's advances, turns you down flat, another time in another life, and I'm going to be putting her on mid-tier. Yeah, unfortunately, Samara is a really cool character. She's deep, she's philosophical, she's very hot. I would want to romance her, but she rejects you. Her romance is about rejecting you and letting go. She's a Justicar warrior. She's basically a space samurai. However, she doesn't pursue romance because the code forbids her. She can't let any people in and basically wants to stay as friends with Shepard. You can win a kiss from her in Mass Effect 3, but you have to meet very specific circumstances. Namely, you don't romance anyone else, only show interest in Samara, and she can kiss you and even sleep with you in the Citadel DLC, but you can't pursue anyone else. That is the requirements. You have to stand by crushing on Samara. Yeah, Samara is a good character regardless, I agree, but we're judging people on the romances, and Samara's romance is weak because she tries to turn away your advances, and unlike Jack and Miranda, does not have a point where she opens up and has romantic scenes. Basically, alien ladybug and Cat Noir. No, I would say she's more like an alien samurai girl, but I love Samara as a character, but as a romance option, it is mid. It is weak. It's a cute moment where they finally have their kiss, and she can sleep with Shepard in the Citadel story arc, but nothing much further. She is a mid-romance. So now the Mass Effect 3 cast. Let's have Javik on there. Javik is going on to mid. Yeah, Javik, he has basically one scene where he can sleep with you if female Shepard hasn't romanced anyone. It is a one-night stand and done as a joke. That is why Javik is on here. It is a joke. There is one thing primitives are good at. Yeah, Javik, cool character, kick-ass alien warrior, but he doesn't romance anyone because he's a Prothean species and can't bond with anyone. Unless Shepard is single, then he'll sleep with you when you get drunk and party. Yeah, he's going on mid. Funny joke, but nothing higher. Then, Diana Allers. I might put her on bad, honestly. Diana Allers has the most shallow romance. She's also another reporter. She's only here because BioWare gave the IGN hostess a cameo, and her romance is kind of shallow. It's just a fangirl crush. She interviews your character about the progress on the war, and you can potentially flirt and sleep with her, and that's about it. No deep scenes, no compelling romance stuff. Just basically a fangirl having a one-night stand with you. She's gone on bad. Speaking of bad, James Vega. James Vega also going on bad, namely because he's only romanceable in DLC segments. You can romance James in the Citadel arc, but that's about it. He's not in the main campaign. They did not patch this for the Legendary Edition, and I do not like James Vega as a character. A lot of females did because he looks like a Jersey Shore model, but don't like James all that much. He's going on bad, especially because his romance was done dirty too. Alright, our last two, Steve Cortez and Samantha Trainer. Alright, I want to end on a positive note, so we're going to do Steve next. Steve, I'll put on, he has reach. Steve is basically your pilot. He pilots the shuttle. He's the engineer. He's the mechanic. He's the gay option, basically. After 2 games, BioWare finally did gay romances, and Steve's is way better than Kaiden's. Basically, Steve is suffering depression and PTSD. His husband was killed in Mass Effect 2's events, however, Shepard can coax him out of it and letting go of his dead husband and pursue a romance with Shepard. And I do think he is one of the better gay romance options. Now, I have not actively pursued Steve. I did study watching YouTube videos, and they have a very nice romance, very bromance kind of story. They slowly become friends, but then they can eventually become lovers. And yeah, I think he's definitely one of the better gay options on here. Definitely not as good as Garrus or Thane, but as far as the gay romance options go, he definitely has reach. And finally, last, Samantha Trainer. Samantha Trainer is the lesbian option romance, and she's a much better character than Steve, but I will put her on, she has reach. Yeah, I'll put her under PB, but Suvi goes under her. Yeah. Samantha Trainer, she's actually pretty adorable. She's the bubbly, hyperactive nerd girl. Basically kind of a low-key version of PB here. Samantha Trainer is the lesbian option, and actually pretty likable. She's nerdy, she's geeky, she's socially awkward, she has very mild ADHD. I think PB definitely has it worse than her, but Samantha Trainer actually went up as one of the most popular characters of Mass Effect, and I can see why. She's very endearing, she's cute and dorky. Her romance with Shepard is the more fun one. She has a fun romance with female Shepard. She's a light-hearted comic relief character in a very dark game, and that's what made her attractive to a lot of people. So it's a shame WB shut down YouTube live-action parody of Scooby-Doo. Aw, they did? Dang, guess we're not reviewing that now. Yeah, Samantha Trainer, I think she has reach. Her romance is very cute and endearing. Love the hot tub scene she shares with female Shepard, especially. Yeah, it's very adorable. They do have a sex scene because she's on the ship. Unfortunately, I don't think you can make contact with her through, like, the hologram at the end. You know, where Shepard is, like, making last messages to all the squad mates you ever had. I don't think she had that option, so she kind of disappears once you go on the final mission. So, does kind of suck and holds her back from S, but I do agree. She's definitely one of the better lesbian romances out there, because Samantha Trainer is just an all-around fun character. She has reach, but falls in comparison to the better ones. Alex Wilton Regan is Samantha's actress who played Carmen Verde, Hexagon Lady, Miss Mushroom, and the Moon in The Amazing World of Gumball. Yeah, Samara's actress is actually very pretty in real life. They actually modeled her face off of her real actress, and it looks very good. Samara's a hot character. Wish she was a good romance option, but you got what you got. And that pretty much completes our tier list. These are all the romance options from Mass Effect 1 to Blandromeda. So we'll go over it one more time if you were here or if you weren't able to hear me when the mic went out at the start. If you had to rank the Mass Effect games, what would that be? Oh, well, Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 would be S tier, and Blandromeda would be D tier. There you go. So yeah, let's go over it one last time for anyone showing up late or didn't hear me. Bosch-Tet, the awful ones, Jacob Taylor, he cheats on you, enough said. Jaal, very gross, ugly frogman, and the fact that he gets a nude scene gave me nightmares. Definitely bottom. Morinth, awful character, evil psycho bitch who kills you. Who wants to romance that? And Liam. Liam's a tool. He sucks. He's not funny. He's the class clown who wasn't funny. We'll put him on Bosch-Tet because he's bad. Bad Drone. That Angaran archaeologist girl. So bland and boring that people forgot she was a romance option. Diana Allers. A lazy, very shallow romance. She doesn't get as much love as other characters. James Vega, he sucks. I don't like James as a character, and appropriately, his romance had very little given to it. Asshole Williams. Ashley sucks. I'm sorry, Bodhi, but I do not like Ashley. She is mean, she's nasty, and she did not get better. She is a bad drone. She was outclassed by Jack and Miranda. Mid-calibrations. Gil. Alright, his was okay. That's all I really have to say about it. He's a gay and that's okay. Cora Harper. Really mediocre romance. Nothing super deep, but just boring. Caden. More boring than Cora Harper. Caden has a very unique character. I do like him more than Ashley, that's for sure, but as a romantic partner, he just falls kind of square in the middle. Javik. His romance is a joke. That's all that needs to be said. Samara, her romance is pretty non-existent. She basically rejects you for most of your romance arc, and all you get is a kiss and an implied sex scene, so pretty mid. Reyes is definitely decent overall. His was okay. He's the bad boy who you save, basically, but he's been kind of outclassed by so many better options. Agreed on Ashley, yeah, thanks. Yeah, Ashley sucks. Do not like Ashley, and unfortunately I do have friends that like her, but personally I think Miranda and Jack are better versions of Ashley's character. Liam is the Carlos of Magic School Bus. Oh no, Carlos was actually funny. Same Shadow Link, yep, Ashley sucks. She/he has reach. Steve Cortez. Steve is a little boring, but I think his is one of the better gay romance options, so he does win points for that, and I do actually care enough to want to save Steve, so he won points over Caden for sure. Kelly Chambers, a cute Girl Friday kind of romance. I think it's alright, very humorous at times, but not an S-tier perfection. T. Visa. Her romance is pretty adorable. I just wish it had a little more going for it. Same with Dr. Suvi. Her romance is also cute and adorable, but it doesn't go farther than cute and adorable. Samantha Trainer. Definitely one of the better lesbian romance options. Samantha is a fun comic relief character, so of course her romance is very lighthearted fun. And PB. PB came so close to S tier, but I do think it is held back by some things. PB, I would not shame anyone for loving, and I could see other people putting her on S tier, but to me, she's good, not great. PB definitely gets overshadowed by Liara. And last but not least, the By the Goddess. The By the Goddess gang. Thane Krios, very beautiful tragic romance. I loved Thane's character so much, and his romance is highly underrated. Vetra, easily the best Blandromeda romance, because Vetra is actually a cool, interesting character. Basically, romancing a female Garrus, and that's what I like about her. Vetra is awesome. Miranda Lawson, definitely top 5 material. Miranda is perfect in every way, the best jeans money could buy, and of course her romance is pretty fun. Miranda is a great Mass Effect character, so appropriately she had one of the best romances in the franchise. Garrus Vakarian. Yes, don't worry, a male love interest made it very high. Who doesn't love Garrus? An awesome bro, and an even awesomer boyfriend. Tali Zora. Everyone loves Tali, and I can see why. Talia is fun, she's cute, she's bubbly, her romance is very sweet and wholesome, so of course she made it to By the Goddess territory. Jack. Jack is my second favorite Mass Effect romance. Hers is so beautiful. I really love her, going from a pessimistic jerk into a fun-loving, nice, supportive girlfriend. Jack had some of the best character of Mass Effect, and appropriately, her romance also hugely underrated. Really love Jack's romance, going from a total bitch into a supportive girlfriend. Love Jack, love the psychotic biotic with all my heart. And of course, number 1, Dr. Liara T'Soni. I know it's unfair because Liara has the most spotlight in this entire franchise, and she's one of the few you can romance in all 3 games. But what can I say? Liara is awesome. Liara is one of the best romances of Mass Effect, and I really love her and Shepard together. And of course, if you know me, she made my top 10 waifu list, and appropriately so because Dr. Liara Tassoni kicks butt. Definitely the goddess among all these romances. So, what review do you have in mind for whenever it will come? I do have a new review out. I did a new Wolf's Unknown review. It's on Patreon right now. I gave the link in my community post. I highly recommend watching it because I think you're in for a nice surprise. I hope the video came out very good because it was definitely took a lot of work and was delayed a bit, but I had fun making it, so I hope you see the new Wolf's Unknown currently out. Liara definitely deserves top tier, and my always go-to romance in Mass Effect. I would embrace eternity with her any day. Yeah, same here, Shadowlink. Liara is eternally beautiful. It was a fun and happy Valentine's Day. Okay. Thanks for showing up, guys. But yeah, this is my entire Mass Effect romance tier list. The bad are the obvious ones, and the good are also the obvious ones, but a few underrated ones thrown in there. Mass Effect is a really kick-ass game, and most of their romance writing is really stellar. The characters are the best part about Mass Effect, so of course we have a lot more S-tier and A-tier romances on here. But yeah, that pretty much completes my list. So, I hope you guys really liked it, because we might do another tier stream another day, but we'll see how things play out. So, thanks for showing up. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, or just tune in for new videos posted here on Wolf Entertainment. I'm your host, Catastrophe, and I should go.